this match, a man making his second European Tour appearance of the year, Paul Rowley, a man who won his tour card in January as well, up against a man playing in his third successive European Tour event. He made the second round in Gibraltar, made the first round of the European Match Play as well, and Chris Quantock is back for more. Paul Nicholson back for more as well, a player who came up against Quantock in Gibraltar as well. You know him fairly well. What's he capable of doing this weekend?
Well, judging by his qualifying to get here, he's been quite destructive in his qualifying, so he'll look at Paul Rowley as someone he can take out for sure. But we'll touch on Chris's equipment in a minute, because he is fiddling a bit with it, and he's just trying to find a formula, but it doesn't seem to stop him from winning games, that's for sure.
No, it doesn't.
Thank you, gentlemen.
You mentioned
first leg is Chris to throw first. Game on.
His performances in qualifying. Peter Hudson 6-1. Now, just to put that into some perspective, Hudson made the quarterfinals in Hamburg last time out. Gave Michael van Gerwen a bit of a scare, and well, it looked to be one-way traffic, didn't it, at 5-0, and then he somehow got 4 legs on the board, and Michael van Gerwen was relieved to come through that one.
60.
So Quantock saw off Hudson. He beat Ronnie Baxter 6-2, former world number 1, and Matthew Dennant by the same score as well.
Yeah, not a bad 3 games, especially when you only lose 5 legs and you win 18. So, well done to Chris. But I tell you what about this game, it's going to be quick.
180!
Especially with darts like that. First 180 on the board. It took 5 legs for the first match to produce one, but we've got one already in the opener here.
60.
Just as far as Rowley's qualification programme was is concerned, he beat Kevin Painter 6-5 and Andrew Gilding 6-3. Now, with darts like this, it's easy to see why he came through those 2 tough qualifiers. Painter was seeded number 16
all you require,
for the qualifier, and all 9 darts. Rowley is looking at a potential 11 dart leg here, double 12.
57.
Well, he'll be back, but eye-catching so far.
I think Paul Rowley likes this stage, don't you, Rob?
Like a duck to water.
I think it might be a case of deja vu for
84.
Chris Quantock,
All you
because
require,
this is a very
24.
similar game to what he had last time we were on the European Tour. Quick,
Cash on the
no
first
messing
leg.
around. He
Paul
played
Rowley.
Nathan Aspinall on that
Second leg,
occasion,
Paul to throw first.
and he
Game
came
on.
out on the bottom side of that game. So he's going to have to take a deep breath like he's just done and say, you know what, maybe we've got to slow this guy down a bit.
Yeah, he
43.
he lost to Nathan Aspinall 6-3 in that match in Hamburg. But he had chances. I mean, he looked totally deflated after Aspinall took out 1-5-3, and that seemed to shift the balance of power in that particular match. And up against it here already with Rowley flying through that opening leg.
41.
But not flying out of the blocks here.
Yeah, touched on Chris Quantock's equipment change.
100.
The last time we saw him when he played against Nathan Aspinall, he was using a larger flight. I think at this point in time, even though he's playing really, really well to qualify for these events and playing well on
100.
Pro Tour events, I think he's just searching for that extra 1 or 2%. He's got a smaller flight this time, so he's going to get a bit more speed through the air.
140.
But that's what he wants to do. He wants to get the darts really close together, and he feels that the kite-shaped flight this weekend is the one to go with.
60.
Well, Quantock only made his European Tour debut this year. That was in the first event of 2017 at the
100.
German Darts Championship. Rowley has been on the Euro circuit before, as we said. He played in Sindelfingen in May of this year.
81. Chris, you require 104.
And he also made it to the UK Masters in 2013. That was in the European metropolis of Minehead, of course.
The home of world darts.
The home of world darts.
It seems like a long time ago. It really does. And the great John
56.
Part won the first European Tour event in Britain, and the only one ever to be held in Britain. Stuart Kellett in the final.
60. Chris, you require 48.
Chris Quantock, 16 for double 16. That's a good guide, you know. You can see the bottom of that.
16. All you require,
This would hurt.
116.
This would hurt a great deal for Chris Quantock if Rowley were to take this out. 96 away. Well, he's got it. Double 18.
98. Chris, you require 32.
Double 16 for 1-1.
Struggling, and yeah, little wonder he's had to move over to the other side.
60.
And it's opened the
All
door
you
once
require,
again here, and
18.
Quantock just simply can't afford to make these
Game shot. The
opportunities
next
found,
Chris to
and
throw
Rowley leads
first.
2-0.
I'm not sure if the folks out watching this coverage will be aware that when you play at the
140.
professional level, it's widely known that when you change your flights, your scoring can improve in a matter of hours
100.
if you use an improved version of a flight. But your doubles can suffer, and it takes time to get your doubles right with different flights.
95.
That's why it's so remarkable with what Peter Wright does, or what he used to do. Because he would just adapt to anything, really,
65.
and be fine with it. But you could see there that there are adjustments to be made on doubles for Chris. But there's nothing wrong with his scoring.
99.
By the sense of the audience, I think Chris
60.
Quantock's got a few
Chris
fans out there,
167.
which is great for the young man, who's got a very big future.
59.
There's every possibility, Rob, that he could be the next big left-hander in the game.
140.
They're just giving him
Chris
something
Rowley,
to think about
108.
here. Strange that Rowley actually won that second leg, given he started off with 80-odd points from his first 6 darts.
88. Paulie require
And
136.
he's back in, just not convincing on the double so far today, Chris Quantock.
100. Chris require 20.
Well, they can't afford to mess around too much here. Double 5.
Game shot on the third
And
leg.
that
Chris
would be
Quantock.
a welcome relief for
Four-legged
Chris
Paul to
Quantock.
throw first. Game on.
It's a confidence builder, that double 5, because when you've missed a few doubles in the first couple of legs, you say to yourself, okay,
94.
this could be an epidemic of missed doubles in this match, but one of the situations you don't want to find yourself in is having to hit double 5 and saying to yourself, don't split it, don't split it. That was a confident shot at double 5, didn't mess around.
54.
Well, Rowley's qualification, he came through Kevin Painter, which is always a difficult game, but Andrew Gilding as well.
180.
As we see Quantock ramping up that scoring a bit more.
60.
Yeah, it might just be settling down now, Chris Quantock. Sometimes takes a while to get yourself going. He's certainly in the money here once again.
145.
In the money indeed. It's the equivalent of a final table at a poker leg so far.
140.
All he's got to do is just finish it off.
36.
Yeah, I'd say still one or two concerns about the doubles. That was some way outside the double 9
18.
bed as well, and that wasn't
All
much
you require,
better either. So an outside
153.
chance here, 153. We talked about Aspinall taking out 153 in Hamburg. Won't happen here.
60. Richard Guat 18.
He's going to go straight
Game
for
shot on the
it.
fourth leg.
And again,
Chris
that's
Quantock.
confidence, isn't it? A lot of
Good leg,
people
it's Chris to throw
in that
first.
situation might have gone 2 for
Game
double
on.
8, maybe even 10 for double 4,
Yeah.
6 for double 6. Lots of choices. But he didn't mess around, and this is his game. He steps up and he just goes for it. And I think that's a
99.
very youthful, exuberant brand of darts,
Yeah.
and it's very watchable.
13 dart breaker throw to get us back on level terms at 2 apiece here.
44.
I don't know about you, Rob, but that looked like a very peculiar 13-dart leg.
Yeah,
96.
I know what you mean. Rowley, one of the players to win his tour card
100.
earlier this year. He bagged it on the final day of Q School, so you'll have encountered him there as well, Paul. Made a run to the quarterfinals where he lost to Martin Schindler,
140.
but that run on the final day ensured his place in the top 12 on the Q School Order of Merit. Has had a stint on the Pro Tour before, that
140.
was in 2012. So he's back again.
Yeah, Paul's been around for a while.
58.
He's one of those guys in the Pro Tour room and the practice room who just does his own thing. He's not really one of the real
59.
banter
Richard
guys like
Guat,
your Andy
108.
Jenkins or your Vincent van der Voort, but he just does his own thing, and a lot of people like him for that. He just doesn't bother anybody.
100.
But if you say hello to him,
All you require,
he is more than happy
158.
to say hello back. He's a very friendly man.
28. Chris, you require 8.
Double 4. 2 2s, and all of a sudden he'll be in front.
Shot on the fifth leg.
Yeah,
Chris
seems to have
Quantock.
ironed out those
Six-legged Paul to
concerns
throw
we had
first.
about his
Game on.
finishing. Talking of Quantock and his doubles, I recall his match in Hildesheim when he made his European Tour debut. He played Jan Dekker in the first round,
140.
but he out-averaged Dekker, and he actually hit, well, he lost 6-5, but he hit 5 from 7 on his doubles. He was absolutely exemplary that day. He just couldn't put a foot wrong, barely, on his
121.
finishing. Led 5-3 in that match as well. Missed a match dart in the 10th leg, though. I remember saying at the time it was a learning curve for him, and he certainly will have taken a great deal from that particular experience. It will have hurt at the time, obviously, but he's been back for more since then. This is his third Euro Tour event.
He's doing his apprenticeship at the moment, isn't he? He's qualifying for a lot of events, and everything he does, whether he wins or loses, he's got to learn from it. And I see in the next 2 or 3 years him being a lot more dangerous than he is now. And quite frankly, that's a statement, because right now he's very dangerous. It's the second time in this match that Rowley has left 81 after 9 darts.
47 away.
47.
Yeah, that leaves double 16. So
Check 49.
Good leave. Very good leave. Just in case Rowley does mess about on double 16, but doesn't. And that shot there was the equivalent of a Roberto Baggio penalty. Not over the bar, but right in the bottom corner.
Yeah.
190.
Has struggled on the Pro Tour in the Players' Championship events this year, has Chris. He has played in 14, which is all of them. But he's been knocked out in 10 of those as well. So he's, again, had more experiences, bad experiences than good. But as you say, Paul, I think he'll be using that to good effect and serving his apprenticeship.
100.
Well, he's in a pretty good stable, isn't he, considering he's with Tommy Gilmore, MBE, and under that stable
36.
you've got Chris Dobie, you've got Michael Smith, Gary Anderson, Ian White. There are some people you can tap into for experience
45.
and just that little bit of knowledge. I think you've also got Adam Hunt in there as well, and I think the Adam Hunt and Chris Dobie connection for Chris is important because they're around about the same age.
Yeah, Quantock also earned his tour card via the Order of Merit this year as well.
88.
He was on the Challenge circuit last year. He missed out just on a free qualifying place or a free entry into the Q School by finishing 10th in the Challenge Tour Order of Merits.
Eight-legged ball to throw
Once
first.
again, eye-catching on the doubles to take the 7th leg.
He's definitely warmed up on the doubles since the first couple of legs, and
98.
I think it's fair to say that he's been the better player over the last 4 or 5 legs. That's why he's in front now.
58.
Yeah, he was 0 from 6 earlier on, but now he's in much better shape with 4 from 15.
100.
If you look again at Rowley's qualification, he won 6-5 against Painter and 6-3 against Gilding.
134.
2 real stalwarts of the Pro Tour. Paul Rowley is not afraid to go toe-to-toe with someone
108.
and go 5-0 into a sudden death shootout.
81.
Well, he's in
All
great
they
shape
require
here, Paul Rowley.
123.
6 starts from here at least. Might only need 3 of them.
66 left. Treble
91.
14 would have left double 12. I like that thinking because he didn't have to go for the bullseye or any sort of fiddly way of leaving bull. He's left the double he's comfortable with.
You require 32.
And he believes in his own head that he's going to come back and hit it straight away. And does.
On the 8th leg, Paul Rowley.
Yeah, it's just bubbling into a nice game, this one. It's
Game on.
effectively now a best of 3 encounter. Who will blink first here? Winner to face, Michael
83.
Smith in round 2. Michael Smith has one European Tour title to his name this year. He was the champion in Gibraltar.
100.
You've got to think that at this early stage in the tournament, it's quite cool in our commentary position, but that hole out there, by the end of tonight and into tomorrow, will be very, very hot. The temperature in Austria over the coming days is going to be over 30 degrees, and that
45.
will have an effect on this hole.
Yeah.
So Michael Smith winning in Gibraltar, you've got to think that he's one of the favourites.
Yeah, we've had a few thunderstorms in the area as well. A bit of rain this morning too. It's very, very humid, very sultry, and yep, that will take effect over the course of the weekend. No doubt about that.
60.
Michael Smith, the finalist here last year, losing to Phil Taylor, 6-4. So it's a venue he likes as well, or has fond memories of. Chris Quantock looking to establish some of his own.
I've got a
in
funny
charge.
feeling the way that Chris Quantock's gone about this match. He's going to go straight for this double 19. Not even thinking about it. 3 double 8. Double 8.
Game
Yeah,
shot.
lovely finish.
10-legged Paul to throw first. Game on.
Putting pressure on Rowley now. And Rowley knows it's do or die.
Yeah, has to start strongly here.
125.
That'll do. If Quantock can just keep himself in the frame here,
93.
he's got the security blanket of knowing that he throws first in the final leg should we go to a decider.
In this situation, all you want really, if you're Chris
83.
Quantock, is one shot at a double and get it done 6-4.
140.
Can't tell you how good that third dart was.
Yeah.
It was blocked. And what he's tried to do is nestle that dart in between the two flights.
55.
He did it so perfectly.
$80.
Another good third dart. He's thrown 9 darts in this leg, and all of the third darts have been perfect.
66.
Well, 55 and a 66 from Rowley, just giving Quantock one or two signs of encouragement here, and he's looking to make the most of it. Well, could have done without that one, but he's recovered well.
123.
And he's down to a finish first on the Rowley throw.
Oh, what Paul Rowley would give for a 140 right here.
40.
And that's not what he wanted. Maybe the rating's on the wall because Quantock might be finishing this right now.
Yeah, tops he wants for a place in the second round and a meeting with Michael Smith in the last 32 tomorrow.
45. All he require
Not there
132.
yet, but this, you feel, has to go. Paul Rowley looking at 132. Tried to start things off with a bullseye, but didn't work out for him, and
52.
Quantock will return.
Require 20.
Couldn't afford to miss that first dart to keep himself alive there, Paul Rowley.
Game shot.
And there it
And
is.
the match, Chris
A little spring in the step of Chris Quantock as he finished the job there, securing the all-important break when he needed it most in the 10th leg to seal a 6-4 win. Rowley started really well with the first 2 legs, including a 14-dart break in the opener. But once Quantock found his feet and found his finishing boots, he felt as though he was slowly but surely taking control of that one. And the 25-year-old from York goes through to the last 32 here in Vienna.